everyone. Hello. And I would like to welcome you to another video of the T on NPD and relationships. I hope everybody is doing well today. I hope everyone has had a wonderful and productive week. I know I did. I hope everyone rested well last night and hope you all are continuing to wear your PPE and of course continuing to practice um, our safety measures that the CDC has put out for all of us here in the US. These are tough times, and it's tough to maintain a positive attitude sometimes in such a negative situation, and that's just worldwide. But we press on and we live to fight another day. And so I wish you all well, wish you all positive vibes, and I hope everyone is doing well today. So let's jump right into the topic. So, the topic today is my Constitution says that my forgiveness is a gift, not your right. So, let's take a little dive here into the actual meaning of Constitution. Okay, so Constitution says here in Google, when I researched it here, it says the Constitution is a body of fundamental principles established precedents according to which a state or organization is acknowledged to be governed. So when I look at Constitution, I'm looking at Constitution as, let's think of that as the fundamental principles that we have innately, or we should, the principles that we were raised with. And I'm going to say, to take this in a normal situation, in the best possible situation to be raised in. Okay, these are the fundamental principles, if I can get it right, principles that we were raised in. And this is in a normal household, okay? Now, to with some maybe minor degrees of maybe dysfunction to a little bit. None of us were raised in perfect families. We all have things, but for the most part, a normal family. Okay. Now, let's look at the actual meaning of forgive. Okay. So, forgive means to stop feeling angry, resentful towards someone, or for an offense, flaw, or mistake. Okay. So I had a person to message me, and thank you for your comments. And when I get the messages on Facebook and Instagram, just know I'm listening to you. I do hear you, and so I wanted to address the subject of forgiveness. Let's talk about forgiveness. Okay. So, the person did say, one of my viewers did say that they were struggling with forgiveness. They were in a narcissistic relationship. And in this narcissistic relationship, understanding and now having the knowledge that this person actually did hurt them and do all of the things that would possibly hurt this person, destroy, or decimate their character, that these were things that were done on purpose. And so they were struggling with forgiveness. Okay, so when we look at narcissist, okay, and cluster B personality disorders that are described in the DSM 5, the Diagnostic Manual of Mental Health Disorders, if you will, we have to understand that narcissists do not, it's not personal with them, okay? It's not personal. This is not something that's personal. This is something that is a part of their character. So it's not just one person that they will do this to. This is everyone. that they come in contact with. You know, they're going to hurt, they're going to deliberately provoke, they're going to do things. And I can certainly understand the struggle with forgiveness. I struggled with it myself after, especially learning that this is something that is a deliberate thing. The actions, the way that they behave, it's everything is intentional. It's intentional. And when you know that, it is very difficult sometimes to understand or to even fathom in your heart forgiveness for these types of things. So, when we look at it, we have to look at it in a sense of, in order to forgive them, I I know personally I had to come to the understanding that it's not personal. It was not something that was just done to me, that they do this to everyone. Everyone, that even family members, they do the same thing to family members. Now, because of their lack of empathy and their inability to forgive, so the lack of empathy, front and center, does not allow a narcissist to forgive you for anything, any transgression you may have done or anything you may have said, because they're highly sensitive individuals. They wear their hearts on their sleeve. They can't take criticism. They anything that is perceived negative about their personality is, they're going to say it's shots fired. It's anything negative that you want to associate with their character is not going to be received well. Know that you will suffer repercussions behind that. They are going to exact revenge on you for that. Now, they struggle because of the lack of empathy. They're never going to forgive you. So, when you're struggling with forgiveness, and when we're talking about our constitution and what we were made to do in a normal situation, or what we are able to do, is we're able to forgive. But let's talk about how the narcissist, the toxic person, would receive your forgiveness. Now, we forgive because that's what we were taught to do. When you look at a toxic person, they do not, or in the, when I say toxic person, narcissist, cluster B personalities, they do not have the ability to forgive. Okay, so your forgiveness to a normal person is a gift. It means I'm not going to do this again. That person that receives your forgiveness, they understand that. They take it as grace. They take it as mercy. And they say, I appreciate that. And I will make sure not to ever make that transgression again. And they are sorry. And they go on. And we extend that apology, and you go on to normal relations with a normal person. However, when you're dealing with a narcissist, the way that a narcissist perceives your forgiveness is they see your forgiveness as permission to abuse you further because of their sense of entitlement, their arrogance, and their lack of empathy. Okay? These people feel like they are entitled to everything that you have, including your forgiveness. Okay? And let's just put it out there. Hope is something that we can see light, and we can see light at the end of the tunnel. We can see that there are progressive changes in a situation or a person. That is a situation that is honest and authentically hopeful. Okay? You can have hope in a situation like that. However, the last thing that usually goes with a survivor in a narcissistic relationship is hope. And the narcissist knows this. Okay? That's why they throw you little crumbs, okay, to kind of keep you hanging on. So, and what I want to say about hope in this situation, you're never really going to see any true change with them. And if they do change, at most, it's for a very short, limited period of time, at the max 2 to 3 weeks, and they're back to what they started with before. Okay, they're back to the same thing. So, in this situation, this is not going to be authentic hope. What this is actually going to be is you're actually in denial. Okay, I know that probably hurt. I know it probably stung a little bit, but hope is what you can have in a situation when you see positive, progressive change. When you cannot see positive, progressive change in a situation such as with a narcissist, and you're still thinking that you're hopeful for this person, no, darling, you are in denial. Let's accept that. Let's accept it for what it is. And it's okay. It's okay. We've all been in denial at some point, but let's accept it for what it is. Okay. So, what you have to do in situations in forgiving a narcissistic individual or a toxic individual that you know lacks empathy and they lack control of their impulses. They There are a lot of different things that play into this personality disorder. If you forgive them because of their lack of impulse control, okay, whatever it was that you forgave them for, if they happen upon a situation where they have the opportunity to do that thing that they did to you before, and they happen upon the situation due to their lack of impulse control, they're gonna do it again. They are absolutely going to do it again. So, when you know that there's a lack of impulse control, there is a lack of empathy, and these are people that are unable to truly forgive, when you extend forgiveness to this type of individual, it has to be a forgiveness that is extended and a farewell that you have to bid them and the situation for good. You have to, because the way that the disorder is ingrained, whatever you forgave them for, they see it as permission to abuse you again, and they're never ever going to take you seriously nor your forgiveness as a gift. They see it as they're entitled to it, and due to their arrogance and lack of empathy, your feelings in which you extended the forgiveness and the emotion and anything that you felt to basically, your love, let's say that, the love that you felt towards them or for them to extend the forgiveness, it's never going to be taken as that. Okay, so you have to, when you forgive them, you have to move on. You have to bid that situation and that person farewell. If it's a family member, sometimes we're not able to just rid ourselves of family members, but you really have to have a control over that situation, and you have to regulate your interactions with them and minimize to the best of your ability your interactions with these toxic individuals. Okay, so narcissists will never change. Their changes at best are probably very short-lived, maybe 2-3 weeks at the most. Very temporary change. They never change permanently. They only get worse. The narcissism, the abuse, the manipulation only gets worse as they get older. And I want to talk about the forgiveness as far as the normal person is concerned. What I had to understand and what helped me to learn to forgive these people and move on is the fact that I had to understand that this is a personality disorder that they have, that it is a character flaw. There is a part of their brain that is actually broken, in a sense. They are unable to um, they are unable to extend genuine, authentic emotional empathy. They just don't have it. They just don't. And so I had to understand that it wasn't personal. This person has a mental disorder. It's a personality disorder, which is also termed as a mental disorder. And what they did to me wasn't personal, that they do it to everyone. Now, do I feel sorry for them? In a sense, I kind of do, because and here's why. Is because when you think of the law of reciprocity that's in effect for everything that they do, you kind of do. I know for me, being a person empathic in nature, I kind of do feel sorry for them, because they don't understand the damage that they're doing to themselves and what they have to reap because of the hurt and the pain and the disdain that they've caused to people along the way in the trail. And they have a trail, like I said in the last video, of mishaps. And these are very shameful people, and they behave badly. And because they're shameful, and because of the ingrained disorder that's inside of them, of this narcissistic personality disorder, they behave badly constantly. So because of the lack of, again, impulse control, they lack that. They're addicted to supply, they're addicted to people, and this makes them behave in somewhat abnormal fashion. Very abnormal. Okay. So the ability to forgive and the ability to give, okay, they rank very high on the emotional vibrational chart. So people that are forgiving people, people that possess the gift of giving, these are people that are usually very high. These are usually your empathic people like myself, very high on the emotional vibrational frequency chart. So when you deal with narcissists, they're at the opposite end of the emotional vibrational chart. They're pretty much primarily shame based individuals. And if you ever have a chance, you visit, and I believe I showed you all a emotional vibrational chart. I think it was a couple of videos ago, but you can go through my videos and you can see, I believe it was on owning your value. That particular video is where I actually displayed a picture of the emotional vibrational chart. Okay, so people that forgive are usually your empath, are very forgiving, are usually your empathic individuals, and we we give and we forgive very easily, and this makes us a prime target for narcissists and for narcissistic abuse. The only way that you can really guard yourself against such people and situations is that you have to institute strong boundaries. You have to say that my forgiveness is a gift and it is not your right. And I am choosing to forgive you, and I am choosing to bid you and this situation farewell. When it is a family member and we are unable to necessarily bid the situation a farewell, or if you have children with the narcissist and you still have to have interaction with this person to some degree, okay, then at that point, you want to minimize and completely regulate all interactions with this individual, especially knowing that they lack empathy, they lack the ability to forgive. So, and the fact that they take your forgiveness as permission to further abuse you. So, in summation, let me say this: struggling with forgiveness I understand. Um, this is something that it's a person by person, you have to take it on a person by person basis. You forgive when it's in your heart to do so. But just know that the forgiveness frees you of the pain and the abuse of the past. Forgive yourself for being in such insidious relationship. Forgive yourself first. Once you forgive yourself, then forgiveness for the narcissist or the toxic individual that you were involved with comes much easier. Understand what led you there and understand what will keep you from going down the same road with another individual, perhaps another situation. Understand that there is nothing wrong with forgiveness. And I was asked also, um, when I spoke about, I had no ill will towards the narcissist that was in my life in the very serious relationship, nor his family. I was asked, how how could I not see the family as being horrible, and how could I not hate them or the narcissist? Well, I had to understand a couple of things. And this is what I had to come to the realization of. I had to come to the realization that I needed to forgive myself for becoming involved in that situation, which I did. And once I forgave myself and I understood the what this disorder entailed and how that family unit works around the toxic individual, because a lot of times, a lot of the family members can be toxic as well. I'm not saying that they were, but they know the narcissist, they know how this person operates. So how did I forgive the family is what I was asked. Well, I had to understand that that's their loved one. And regardless of the mental disorder that the person possesses, and regardless of the abuse that they exact on others on a daily basis, including their family members, I had to understand that that is their family. And once I came to that understanding, I was able to forgive them. I was asked, how did I feel about never being apologized to because they possibly knew of the abuse? Um, the way that I would respond to that question is that their apology doesn't affect my state of being because I've forgiven myself. So their apology doesn't matter. I've forgiven myself and I've forgiven them. So I've placed myself in a place of neutrality. And that is what allows me to move forward without any ill will towards the narcissist that was in my life and his family as well. These are people too. And they have a soul as well. And as I often tell you all, toxic people, the narcissists, pray for them too, because we don't want them to be left behind. I am a spiritual person. I highly believe in the law of reciprocity, and I believe in forgiveness. Live and let live is what I believe in. And it will truly take you a long way. So, in wrapping up, let's get ready to wrap it up. So, in wrapping up, what I want you to take away from this particular video is that the act of forgiveness is truly a gift. It is a gift to normal people that are able to accept it, normal people that are also able to give forgiveness. in a toxic, in a toxic situation, such as dealing with a narcissist or a cluster B personality, and you're going to find that your forgiveness is permission for them to further abuse. So in that situation, what we want to do is forgive, but bid them a permanent farewell. And if it's a family member, We want to make sure that we can completely regulate and minimize the interactions with the family members. I hope this answered your questions, and I hope that you were able to gain something out of this video. And as I say, please don't forget to like, um, subscribe, and share my videos with others. So until next time, I will say ciao. Have a productive week. You all be safe and put that information that you have into action with forgiveness and the knowledge that you've received on this video today with dealing with narcissistic personality disorder people and toxic people in general. It'll save you a lot of headache and a lot of heartache. Again, as I say, till next time, ciao.